Interview, take one.
Hey y'all, I'm Tanner Adell, and I'm a pop country artist. So I was adopted when I was just a baby. I have 4 siblings. We're all adopted from different families. None of them are blood, but they love me just the same. I was raised extremely religious. I grew up in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and really loved going to church. It's where I learned, I think, that I could really sing. I loved doing choir, and my dad would always try to get me to sing during church. I was so shy, and I was always like, stop trying to get me to sing. But the church really taught me, how to love music. I started playing piano at a really young age. My mom put me in piano lessons when I was about 5 or 6, and I hated it. And she told me that I could quit when I learned how to sight read anything from the hymn book. I'm not a good sight reader, but I would YouTube the songs and then listen to them, learn them just by ear, and then when I had my piano lessons, I would pretend to be sight reading, but actually just be remembering what I had heard. And that's when I realized that was kind of a gift, I guess, and later on led to me being able to write music and compose music and write original songs. My song, Religion, that I've performed on Colors is a very deep, dark part of me. I grew up in a very religious household. It came with a lot of amazing experiences that I wouldn't trade for anything, but it also came with a lot of destruction for me personally. I had an experience in November of 2022 where I kind of just had my entire belief system destroyed, blown to shreds. And I became like a baby again. It felt like I had to relearn truth and kind of felt like I had been in this bubble and was re-entering society without any experience. The day that I experienced this heartbreak, I had a writing session the next day. This woman's name is Parker, and I had been looking forward to this for a long time, and so I ended up going to this session. And I pulled up to the house and could not get out of the car. At this point, it was like 24 hours had gone by, and it was very fresh, and I couldn't go like maybe 30 seconds to a minute without just totally breaking down. And I sat in my car and I texted the producer that was in there, and I was just like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like, some stuff went down and I just can't. He came out to the car and she came out to the car, and I explained what had happened, how I felt like everything that I had believed in was a lie, and that everything that I had been brought up to believe in was not going to be a part of my belief system anymore, and I just didn't know where to begin. Parker literally held my hand and she said, first of all, she said, here's my therapist's number. And second, she was like, we don't have to do this today. You need to go and you need to heal, and this needs to be a time for you to figure out what's next. And I learned a lot about myself in those 2 months. And it was to the point where I had to find really, really little things to believe in again. So it was, I would turn on a light, I'd flip the switch, and in my head I go, okay, flip the switch. I know when I flip that switch that the light's gonna come on, and I believe in that. I had to start over with what I believed in and find those little things that helped me feel like I was okay. At the end of that year, so end of last year, I got to write with Parker again. And she was like, well, let's write about that. Do you think you can write about that? And obviously you saw when we were shooting it, it took me so, and you can keep this in, that took me so many times to get the take to record this song live, because I don't even listen to it. I don't play it for people. I don't sing it for people, because it's really hard for me to get through. It's still a piece of me that's healing, I think. But that song was the start of me healing. And I'm not fully there yet, but I think that's something that's really beautiful about, I guess, a gift that I have, is to be able to channel hurt and pain and, like I said, destruction into a song that not only heals me, but that I know will heal a lot of people. And a lot of people knowing that I've been through that too is the greatest gift. I do absolutely love country music at the core, and I love all the classics. I love traditional country music. I love to listen to that. You know, maybe people look at me and think a certain thing about me, like I might be just using country music or Western wear to make myself some sort of part of country. But at the end of the day, it's just who I am. I just do it a little bit differently than some people, and some people have been calling it glam country, and I get behind that, so I'm claiming that. So Buckle Bunny, the mixtape, is the first mixtape ever done in country music. Buckle Bunny, the word used to be a female groupie of rodeo cowboys, and they'd try and go get with the winning cowboy, and that meant he had the biggest buckle. It's now just being used to try and put down women who like to get cute that also happen to be country. Buckle Bunny is a word I've been called many, many times, because I'm truly a lover of country, but a country person that likes to get dressed up and get my nails done, do my hair, and Dolly Parton would be considered a Buckle Bunny if we're talking about those standards. Buckle Bunny now just means being confident enough to be exactly who you want to be. Beyonce drops H-Town all the time. She's a Texas girl. But there are still many people who would turn their nose up and say that she had no business doing what she did. But truthfully, she slayed. And I am grateful to have been included on not only Blackbird, but also on the first track of the album, which is American Requiem, an absolute masterpiece. I try to keep myself from thinking 10 years in the future. I try to just think kind of day by day. This year, a big thing that I've really, really wanted, two things that I've been really working towards are an album and a headlining tour. And I think in 10 years abroad, I'd just say I think in 10 years I'll have accomplished pretty much everything I've ever wanted to do. 10 years is a long time. With Beyonce, it was like, that was a goal on my list that was like, when that happens, that happened way sooner than I thought it was. I was like, the rest of my list goes out the window. What do I put now, So it's also been figuring out, okay, what is it now? Because that was such a high goal for me, and boom.